Hi, so for my project demo, my problem was to solve the number of medals won by a specific country in the Olympic Games from 2010 to 2016. My country was going to be South Korea. I wanted to visualize the difference in average number of medals won between the Winter and Summer Olympic Games. My information was based off of athleteevents.csv from Canvas. And the reason I did this was because in 2010 in the Winter Games, I remembered a famous South Korean athlete winning gold medals and breaking world records, and I just wanted to see how many medals South Korea had actually won in the Olympics from 2010 to 2016 and compare the number of medals won between the Winter and Summer Games because I only remembered the Winter Games. For what I learned from this program design and the type of design choices that I made, when I was choosing the type of information to keep, I decided to keep country name as a string, games and medals, and I had chosen country name since that was the simplest, games instead of year or other information since games already contained the year and the season of the games, like winter and summer, and medals was obviously needed since we needed to know if a medal is present or not for each athlete. I defined Olympic medals as a data definition with the country name as a string, games and medals as two different types of enumerations with 4 types of each. And that was because games had 4 types, winter, the 4 types of years in games, as well as medals, which were gold, silver, bronze, or not one. So I created a list of data definitions for list Olympic medals that I was able to utilize later on, and I had to follow the arbitrary sized and reference rule as I had defined my own user-defined functions. There were also several helper functions that needed to be created with reference to Olympic medals and list of Olympic medals. As for designing, I thought that a bar chart would make most sense since we wanted to group the Winter Games and Summer Games together, which would create 2 bars. And I felt that that was the easiest to visualize for people who wanted to take a quick look and understand what I was trying to convey. Now, to solve this problem, I needed to filter a lot of things, the data that I wanted. So for example, I needed to filter for the type of country that I wanted, and then if a medal was won, and then if the medals won were in the Winter or Summer Games, and then compare the Summer and Winter Games so that I could actually group the 2010 and 2014 Winter Games together, and then the 2012 and 2016 Games together. And then finally analyze everything to get this in my main function. Now, when we take a look at our data definitions, we are able to see games, my medals, and my Olympic medals named tuple. This was kind of my practice chart that I was referring to. And when we move down to my actual building functions, you're able to see, like for example, medal checker to see if a medal was won or not, and then whether the medal was won in the summer or in the winter, and filtering for countries like South Korea, so choosing only South Korea as what I wanted, so filtering stuff like that. For me, the most difficult part, I think, of the project was creating the helper functions and trying to visualize what I needed to do, in addition to trying to create time after work to work on this project. Initially, I was very confused on how I could filter the stuff and how I could pick out the number of medals won and how to group the type of games together, but spending a lot of time on the screencasts helped. I think this program could probably be used by athletes to see and to produce charts of their performance in competitions, and that could help in understanding where they are lacking so that they can improve where they are in deficit. The functions created, I think, could also be later used to compare average numbers of participation in certain winter and summer events to see what the differences are in events between the summer and winter times. Something that I could do differently next time is create a helper function to actually choose the type of country that I want, but that was something that I did not have time for this time, so that was my project. Thank you.